parents, welcome to a super awesome Wave Camp parent information video. We're going to let you know all that you need to know about sending your student to the Wave today. It might be a little bit long, but we're going to cover all the details because some of you have all of these questions and you want to know everything. We're going to give you everything. Are you ready?
Yeah, so let's just jump right in for time's sake. The Wave, May 30th through June the 3rd. Registration is going to launch on May the 9th at 9 p.m. Those first 60 spots usually sell out really fast, so go ahead, get on there right when 9 p.m. hits and get your spot reserved.
Yeah, and so the prices for the Wave is $335 for the first 60 spots. Again, just like Justin said, those will go quick. And then it goes up to $355. And so if you're watching this video later, maybe a little bit closer to camp, prices are at $355. We say that we don't want money to ever be the reason why a student does not go to camp. And so we have scholarships. We've got partial and full scholarships. And those forms to apply for those are on the wavecamp.org as well. You can find that there, fill that out. But the cost of camp, $335 for the first 60 and then $355. So let's talk location.
Yeah, so location, we will be at the Doubletree Resort in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. We have gone there many times over the years. Last time was 2019.
Yeah.
It's been a while, but we're coming back. It's a great resort, great place, really safe. It's going to be great.
Yeah, so check it out. Like if you go on the website, it's really nice. I mean, they have a pier that goes into the ocean. We're right on the beach. They have fields for us to do tournaments and rec games. If you might be wondering about rooming situation. So it's basic hotel style rooms. There's 4 to a room. And what we tend to do with groups, so we use 2 rooms with an adjoining door and a leader. So like we'll have 1 leader, 7 students within those 2 hotel style rooms with an adjoining door that we leave open the whole time we're there. And with a middle school group especially, there will always be a leader in those rooms. And then high school, we make sure to always have leaders as best as we can as well. And so, but it's 4 to a room. And so you can, when you sign up your student, I think you can request who you would want them to room with. We do our best with that, but we try to make sure that they're with somebody that they know as well.
Yeah, and with an open resort, with an open campus like we're going to be at, there's got to be some boundaries. So don't worry about that. We're going to set some boundaries. For one, your student can't leave campus. We are not going to let them leave campus. No walking across the street to Waffle House. None of that good stuff. Middle schoolers, just to alleviate some of your concerns, parents, middle school groups will always be required to be with their leader.
Yeah.
Every single moment they need to be with their leader, whereas high school groups don't necessarily always have to be with their leader, but their leader always has to know where they are. That way we can keep them accountable, keep them in check, know where they are at all times, and we can be as safe as possible with each of them.
And we don't let any high schoolers ever go anywhere alone as well. So everybody's always in pairs. The cool thing about this campus is it's all enclosed. So like we don't leave the resort the entire time that we're there. And so we've got the field, the pool, the beach, and we have hours when everybody's allowed to do those things. But again, it's safe with our boundaries. We do not, even with the beach, they don't go further down than the hotel boundaries. So, and middle school parents, you will have a leader with your student at all times. That's why we bring a lot of leaders with us. So we'll bring like 40 leaders. And that's one of the main reasons, because we want to make sure that students are well chaperoned.
Yeah.
So we need to talk about a couple things. Food situation you're probably wondering about. What is my kid going to eat? So we cater in meals. We cater in Chick-fil-A and we cater in barbecue. We cater in tacos one night, different things like that. We have a room there at the resort. We have a food team that just brings in to cater in those meals. If you have a food allergy with your student, you can email us and we'll make sure to accommodate them. And so we'll send somebody to go get something that they can eat if they have an allergy and the meal that we have that night doesn't work. But just that's how food is going to work. Some of the things that we talk about with discipline issues, with PDA and which is public displays of affection.
Yeah,
so we don't put up with PDA. And typically we've never had to do this with discipline, but say something happened with a student where we couldn't get it under control because they were just being defiant or something was going on in that regard. We do reserve the right to send your student home. And so we would call you and would say, here's what's going on with your student. And we need you to come pick them up. And so we haven't had to do that ever at camp, but we reserve the right to do that because camp is a commitment, and we want to make sure that our students are able to focus in on what's going on. And so we get students who are trying to sneak off, trying to do things like that, trying to leave the resort, and they're being rebellious in that. Just know, hopefully we don't have to call you, but we will if we have to, because we want to make sure that students are safe. And so hopefully we never have to do that. So yeah.
That's the tougher side of camp, of just those disciplinary issues, those things. But let's talk about a little more fun side of things. What are we going to be doing? Going to give you a basic schedule. Let's run through this. But so every day is basically going to look like this, other than our travel days. But every normal day is going to look like this. We're going to have a morning session. Usually going to have a leader share testimony, some worship through song, just some different things like that. Fun games, skits, all of that. We're going to go into breakout sessions. Your students are going to be able to pick between 2 different breakouts every morning. Different members of our team and other leaders will be sharing, we'll be teaching those. We're so excited for that. And then we're going to have a time of small group. After our breakout's going to go into small groups, then lunch. Then we're going to have a few hours of tournaments and free time.
Yeah.
This will be the time where your student can go to the beach, go to the ocean, go to the pool, do whatever in that, play in tournaments with us, get some prizes.
On that line, tournaments are 1 to 3 p.m. And so, there's free time in camp, but it's really just after that 3 p.m. that you really get into the free time. And again, they're with their group. Yeah. And it's a good time where they get to hang out and go to the beach before dinner. Dinner's at like 5.
Yeah. And so we'll have that. We'll have dinner every single night. We'll have a night session, just teaching through scripture, going into the word. Then after that, group time and lights out, sleep, going to sleep. We'll have them in at a certain time. We'll keep them safe. No 2 a.m. excursions. We'll have them out.
Yeah. The beautiful thing about going to a resort is because it's a normal hotel, like they have to be quiet, And so we do lights out. We do, make sure that they're asleep and getting the rest they need. We're also going to bring in some security with us to make sure that nobody's sneaking out of their rooms at nights. And that's why we have leaders and stuff there too. So yeah, they get those 2 sessions a day. They get breakouts. They get tournaments. They get 2 group time every day. So there's a lot going on to keep them busy. And it's still great. We love camp and the schedule that we have there. When we leave, so we need to let you know that May 30th, when we get on the bus, we're going to leave here at 7:30 in the morning. And so you will meet in the parking lot in front of the student building. We've got coach buses that we're taking. We got a couple of double-decker buses and some normal coach buses, and we're going to drive those down to Myrtle Beach. You will need to bring money for meals on the way down. So we'll stop for lunch and breakfast on the way down and back. And so give them about 4 meals worth of money for fast food. We'll do Chick-fil-A and simple things like that. So yeah, 7:30 on May 30 in the parking lot in front of the student building.
Yeah, and what do you bring on the trip? What does your student bring on the trip?
Weapons.
No, we actually have on thewavecamp.org, we have an extensive list of both what to bring and what not to bring. But most of it just boils down to, why would you send your student with a weapon or tobacco or
fireworks,
vapes, fireworks, anything like that?
Yeah.
Don't do that. No inappropriate clothing, please. I can't stress this enough.
Modest is hottest at camp.
Modest is hottest, especially when it comes to swimwear. We're going to go ahead and say, guys, be appropriate. Girls, be appropriate.
You used to have to just say that to the girls. You got to say that to the guys now too.
Yeah, so for
no Speedos.
No Speedos. For the ladies, we're going to ask no bikinis, please.
Yeah.
We're going to ask bring only one pieces or tankinis that cover the stomach, so we can stay modest. And
modest is hottest.
Yeah.
And then if you want to know about phones, a lot of you thinking like, can I send my student with a phone? You can send your student with their phone. But what we do is we ask them to keep it in their room. And so they can use their phone to, send you a text, call you when they're in their room. But while they're out and when we're in services, if we see their phones, we're going to ask them to go and put it up. And part of that is we don't want to be overly strict on this where you can't get a hold of your student. And we'll have contact information for you too in the week. But we also want this to be a time where they're not distracted. One of the benefits of going to camp is to limit distractions so they can focus on the relationship with the Lord. And so if we see phones out, we'll tell them to go put it up in their room. But they can bring it with them, have it while they're traveling there and back, that sort of thing.
Yeah, and leaders will have devices as
Yes.
well if you do need to get in contact and you have your students' leaders' contact information.
Yep.
You can get in touch with the leader at any time throughout the day or get in touch with one of us.
Yep.
We'll be close by. We'll be ready.
Yeah, that's good. And then we need to talk about sickness, because obviously we're coming off the hills of COVID. And what do? We're going to obviously ask you that if your student is sick before camp, you don't send them to camp. You know, if they've got a fever, keep them home. And we'll work with you as best as we possibly can on trying to get some of that money refunded. That's hard, you know, if it's the week before, because we've already got the room and the bus and the food ordered, but we'll do what we can, case by case.
Yeah.
And then if they get sick while they're there, we're bringing a nurse with us, which is awesome. We got Ashley Irwin, who's coming to be our camp nurse. And so we will give them what they need. If they get really sick, obviously we can quarantine them in their own room, and we'll call you and we'll just say, hey, can you come down and get your student?
Yeah.
But we'll kind of keep students safe that way by having some separation so they're not all together. We don't want somebody getting sick and then getting their whole room sick. So we'll do our best to kind of quarantine them in their own spaces too. And then we're praying against all the sickness. We don't need sickness. But if we have it, we'll let you know. We'll give you a call. And hopefully we can avoid that this year. Same thing with injuries, that sort of thing. Our nurse will be there for sunburns. Please send sunscreen with your student. That is very important. Make sure that they wear sunscreen. We don't want any of those sunburns going on too. So it's going to be great. There's a lot going on with camp. We understand it's a huge commitment for you to send your student with us this far. Just know that we've done this a lot. I mean, I've been on staff here for 10 years. We've done the Wave a lot and done this trip specifically to the DoubleTree Resort a lot. And God works in amazing ways. And so there's a reason why we're willing to uproot our lives and bus a bunch of students down to the beach. And it's because God uses it. And so the details you need to know: your student's going to be safe. They're going to be well cared for. We've got security. We've got nurses. We've got tons of leaders going. A full schedule for them. But if you have any other questions, please email me directly or email Justin and let us know, because we want to answer those questions for you. But hopefully this video is helpful. So yeah, the March 9th, 9 p.m. That's when registration launches. Wavecamp.org, thewavecamp.org. Make sure you type in the has all the information on there for you. So check that out too. There's some FAQs on there and different things. But hopefully this video was helpful.
Yeah, and we genuinely want to see your students there. So
yeah,
please sign them up.
Yeah. All right. We love you guys, and hopefully we'll see you soon.
Yeah.